want to use one of the components of Selenium for testing this website and analyzing the results that will be generated on a search being made on this page. And if that results is prompted out, yes, I can say yes, it is working perfectly well. So the scenario would be like if I want to come to my Google page here, I would like to type in some text called Selenium like this and click on the search button. Once the search is made, I got these results. My assurance for such kind of a search made on Google page is this text which you see here, this one. See this everyone, the highlighted one. Okay. Now I want to ensure that the text, when this text called about so many results in so and so seconds is appearing, then yes, I can say that my search is done. My Google search is returning some results with prompt values. That's what I want to ensure on this web page. So how do we test it? In the last sessions, I told you how to download the component called IDE into Firefox browser. Which you need to travel to. You need to go back to your official website, Selenium website, seleniumhq.org, and download it from there. Once downloaded, this is how you can see this component called IDE here. Let me open that component for you. There you go. This is the interface of IDE. Okay. This is how IDE looks like, and we'll use this as among all the components in Selenium. This is as a GUI. Helps us in directly recording and playback scripts and perform our functional testing based upon some targets and command. Okay. Now before I start up, I just will walk you through what are all these controls which you are looking at here, so that you will understand how to use this tool. Okay. Now let's just explore this tool. Now anybody, if you have any questions in between, you can stop me in between so that I can repeat it for you. Okay. Well, exploring this tool here, first one would be your base URL. This would be the URL, obviously, which we work on any website which you want to test. Okay. How does this already been grabbed as earlier I used a GoToMeeting session, so that's why it is GoToMeeting. If I want Google instead of GoToMeeting, I will not write anything here. IDE will take care of grabbing that URL on our behalf, and it would be the starting point for your functional testing. And that URL will be appearing here, as you see this GoToMeeting URL. We will be seeing google.co.uk as the URL here. That would be the URL which IDE uses for running the scripts against a web page. Okay. And I can see a fast and slow drag bar. It will control the speed of your test case execution. If you want it in a faster pace, you can let it be in a faster pace. If you want it in a slow pace, you can execute the scripts in a slow pace by dragging it towards slow. What is the major use of this? We can find out the synchronization point for our application along with the testing tool. Means if I want to extremely test my application with the help of this tool, I can force some functionality by making it through fast execution. If it is responding properly within that stipulated time, yes, I say it is a pass. If it is not, I will try to execute it with slow pace again and test it twice, ensuring the functionality is met. Meaning, see, I entered a search text and clicked on search button in Google page. If the search is taking more time, I will make it in a slow pace. I will make the testing to be in a slow pace. If it is turning up within a stipulated time, I will make it in a faster pace. By this, I can understand how soon my web page is returning results for me. How can I analyze the test synchronization with my tool and my web page? ensure the results are prompting work properly according to the functionality. Okay, that's the reason fast and slow track bars are introduced here. And I see two play buttons beside them. Okay, first one says play entire test suite. Second one says play current test case. Now, what is the difference between these two? Now, before we go ahead, I just want to give you a small heads up on the concepts like test suite and test cases here. In normal manual functional testing, uh, you know, uh, when we are supposed to test a specific functionality, what we need is we need some manual test cases. Test cases are nothing but the independent steps that you opt for a functional testing. Like I have to test a Google page. What will I do? I will open a browser. I will type in a URL called google.com and then enter a search text inside that search box and click on search button. All these steps which are included in the functional testing is called as test steps. So one or more test steps combined together is called as a test case, and one or more test cases combined together is called as a test suite. I repeat once again, we'll start up with test steps. Test steps will be the steps that we want to cover in the functional testing. So one or more test steps combined together is called as a test case. One or more test cases combined together is called as a test suite. Okay. So if you want to execute your entire test suite, sorry. If you want to execute your entire test suite, I press on this first play button, which means all the test cases will be executed at a time. Or if I want to execute only a single test case, I will select this second play button. So that is the intention behind giving these two play buttons in the IDE. And as you can see, the other one is a pause button. The other one would be step in. Step in is a controller which helps to execute your script from a stipulated line. For example, I have a script of 10 lines. And if I want to execute it from the 5th line, I can do that with the help of this step. The other one is a roll-up rule. It's like conditional rules applied for functional testing. If this is appearing, what to do? If this is not appearing, what to do? For example, after search, if the search results are appearing, what should I say? Is it passed or failed? If the search results are not appearing after the search, what should I say? So it's like a defined conditional rules that we apply. We'll explore it a lot on the go. Okay. On your far right hand side corner, this is your recording button. You observe that my mouse pointer. This is your recording button, okay, which will be enabled by default. You need not have to worry about how to identify, how to start recording or anything. If you want, you can just single click on it. It will stop recording. If you want recording back again, just click on it. It starts recording. That's how it is. Now, next comes your table and source tabs. These are the tabs which helps you in writing commands, which are a backbone for your IDE tool. Okay. Now, what are commands here? Commands are nothing but the actions that you wanted to perform on a web page. So if you want to open a web page, there is an open command. If you want to type something on an object inside a web page, there is a type command. Likewise, so accordingly, your actions that you want to perform is written or designed in the format of commands here. See, I will just type in, I just single click on the first line and enter a command called type. There it is. I have a command called type. Okay. So IDE completely runs on commands. There isn't any code written inside here. Whatever action you want to perform, select that specific command and IDE will do that on your behalf. Next comes target, the one which I have highlighted here in blue. Targets are nothing but the locations where you want to perform this action called type. Where do you want to type a specific text? Let me know the target name so that I will go and perform that action on your behalf. That's what target means. So we will give a specific location where to type such values. And what is that I have to type as a value? We'll go inside this. For example, in the target, it would be my txt username or search some name of my text box, and in the value it goes like Selenium as my search text. So this is how my search will be separated or divided into three parts. First would be the command that you want to perform an action as an action. Second would be the target that you on which you want to perform this action. Value would be actual value that you want to send during runtime. That's how your search would be divided, or your actions inside IDE will be divided into. So we'll perform some recording and see more about this. Okay. And there is a source tab, which is completely a HTML representation of the commands that you have selected. So here it is. I have used the type command. If you observe, text Google search and Selenium as a text. So whatever action that I perform in the format of commands will be represented in HTML format here. It's just a HTML representation for our easy assistance. On to your left hand side, there are test case list. Okay, if you want more test cases, all of them will be listed here. Below there are 4 tabs. One is log, reference, UI element, and rollup. Log is nothing but in IDE we don't have results. We'll have only the log back here, like what went well and what went wrong, what is the outcome of so and so command, everything. Okay, that will be displayed here. The references are nothing but a dictionary kind of a thing for each and every command that you use. See, I have used a command called type here. There you go. There is a description about the type command. And if I use something called as a click, see, immediately my reference has changed to click here. So any command description, if you want, just select that command, and reference tab will give you the description of that command here. Next comes UI element. Like if you want any images kind of a thing during runtime execution, you can look after this tab. Rollup is the same, which you see on the top, this icon. Both of them are same, no changes inside. So at a high level, this is what IDE's interface is all about. Any questions so far, everyone? If you have any, please let me know. Yes, buddy.
Can you explain about this rollup, apply rollup?
Yeah, rollup is nothing but a specific rule that we want to apply on. Whenever I want to specifically design a scheduled execution, I can apply a rule on my test case. Like execute this with a specific condition, execute this with a non-conditional statement. Okay, so some set of rules that we want to apply during runtime. I will show that to you in runtime. Don't worry. We'll explore a lot about that also. No, well, we'll just perform small recording right now because see, you can. Sorry, somebody has a question. Yes, buddy.
Swapna here. Mahesh, I think we missed. How did you open the Selenium window? So can you go
right away? Sure. Right away. I'm just closing. Okay. So there are 3 ways that you can open the Selenium window. On to your right hand side corner, after installing, you will see this icon. See my mouse pointer? On the right hand side corner, top right hand side corner of the browser, there is an SE icon. Once I click on this, okay.
Yeah,
that opens IDE for me. Also, other option is click on Alt button. You need to go to Tools menu like this. And here is my Tools menu. I clicked on Alt button on my browser, and my menu appeared like this. Tools menu. Let me close this. Yeah. Inside Tools menu, the last option is Selenium IDE. This is the second way that you can open your Selenium IDE. And if you also find out there is a shortcut key, a keyboard shortcut, see Control plus Alt plus S. Okay. If you press Control Alt plus S at a time, Selenium IDE will be open for you. So these are 3 ways that you can open Selenium IDE.
And is it a free tool?
Yes, but it is. Okay, I'll show you how to go there. I'll just walk you through the official website also. And the official website is seleniumhq.org. Okay, this is my official website URL, seleniumhq.org. Okay, there you go. That is my official website, wherein I go to my download tab here. Clicking on that, the first option in the download tab will be Selenium IDE. So you can select Selenium IDE from there and then start working on it. Here it is. Download Selenium IDE is the first option for me. So I have highlighted it. Now you can click on 2.5.0 version. This is the latest version of Selenium IDE, which helps you out in getting that interface like this. This one. I have already installed it, so I am not clicking on it again. Just click on this link, 2.5.0 link. Just click on Allow, and it will install complete IDE on your browser, Firefox browser. And for your information, IDE works only on Firefox browser. Okay. No other browser supports IDE as of right now. Okay. Are we clear so far?
Yeah, clear. And
everyone?
Can we?
Yes. Yes, buddy.
Is there a way I can record this session? Like for my reference?
I think so. I'm not sure about it, but yeah, probably from the next session onwards, I can look into that.
Okay.
But I think it is recorded. I'm not sure about that. Well, give me some. Yeah, I understand. Give me some room space because I can't promise you on today. I'm really sorry for that. Yeah, from tomorrow onwards, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Well, I just want to perform some recording on my page. Okay. See, I'm opening my Google page here, and I click on my search text box and then type in a search text called Selenium. Click on search. Now my ID is already open, probably with the recording button enabled. Let's go back and open it up. There is my PC. See, there are my values coming up. Okay, we'll do a recording once again. I'm deleting everything. My ID tool is empty now. I'll go back to my browser. Type in google.co.in or google.com for me here. Okay, this is my browser open. Here Google homepage. I click on my search text as Selenium. So now, if you all observe, the moment I type in my text called Selenium, Google's default behavior is it will go to the next page immediately, wherein I have a different search button. I cannot click on this Google search. See, normally, the execution flow for my Google page is after typing on my search text, it will go to the next page, wherein I can click on my search button over there and then perform my testing there. Okay. Now, in IDE, it will record as is. See, here it is. I will click on this search button. Here it is. The recorded lines of code by IDE. Now I'm stopped recording. Here I'm stopping recording here. I'm single clicking on my record button. Okay. Are we clear so far, everyone, regarding the recording option? See, every action is been recorded here, which I did. No. Hello, guys, are we clear so far? Hey, hang on, I'll delete them once again. I'll perform this recording once again. So I click on record button, go back to my browser. Yeah, I'm opening my Google page. Okay, it is google.com. Oops, I'm sorry. Here is my homepage. Search text. Can I just give me a minute, please? I'll be right back within a minute, guys, please. Hello? Yes, everyone, I'm back. I'm sorry for that. Sorry for the disturbances here. Okay. This is my search text which I typed in. I'm clicking on the search button. Okay. Here it is. I clicked on the search button here. Now I go back to Selenium IDE. Can you see this, everyone? Recorded steps. Right? Now if I want to perform the same actions back again, I just click on this play button. It will perform the same actions for me. Okay. Are we clear so far, everyone?
Yes, Mahesh.
Hello? Peter?
clear.
Okay. Now the next thing here is if I see in the target specifically, in my first open command, I see some junk value which I don't understand. See this? No. It has been already recorded by IDE and I can't even understand what that value is. Open command always looks after the base URL here. This is the main base URL for my open command, which I wanted it to open during runtime. So the representation for a base URL can be done with a regular expression called a single forward slash. Simple. Instead of following that complete junk value which we don't understand, we can represent my base URL with this regular expression called forward slash. You just give us forward slash. This in turn means that it's a base URL. You are pointing to a base URL. Next thing, I have something called as a click command here. And it says ID is equal to gbqfq. Now, what is this? Where is this ID coming from? Do I know, can I see anything of that on this page? Let's go back to the home page where we came from. This is my page. Here is the place where I have typed the text called Selenium, like this. And ID has grabbed an ID from the text box, the name gbqfq. Thus, this is little important, a starting point for identifying objects. Please concentrate. Whenever we want to perform some actions on a page, we need to know the names and properties of those objects. So for example, if you want to call me, you have to take my name as Mahesh and then call me. Then only I'll answer. Likewise, if you want to perform some actions on these controls which you see on the page, like this text box, you have to tell the name of this text box. In technicalities, those are called as properties. So we have to know the properties of these controls called text boxes, buttons, whatever, links, right? These are links here. So if you know these properties, you can refer those properties to IDE, through which IDE will identify them on the page and perform that action on your behalf. As we have opted automatic recording, IDE has taken that responsibility here completely. See this? It is bringing up all the values automatically without your intervention. If I want to know the values, I'll just remove some here. If I want to know what is the value that I have taken or what is the value that I have to use for my functional testing, okay, I have a small assister for this that is called as Firebug. I take a notepad and write them. Okay, it's called as Firebug. Okay, this is a small add-in inside my Firefox browser, which helps me in grabbing the properties of all objects. Objects will have normal names. I'll just open Firebug now. Okay, that's called as Firebug. Okay. Now Firebug is already installed on my machine. So if you can see on my right hand side corner, there is a bug icon. Right hand side top corner of my browser, I placed my mouse pointer. Here it is. I clicked on it. You can even click on this button, or you can even press F12 shortcut key. F12 is the shortcut key for opening Firebug. Okay, I'll open Firebug in that format. Now, what is this? This is a specific add-on used inside only in Firefox browser, which helps us in identifying the properties, also called as names, for all the objects, without which we cannot identify objects on a page. So if you want objects to be identified easily, you need to take the help of a person called Firebug, which helps you in grabbing the object details and pass it to your testing tool. Am I clear so far, everyone? Okay. This is my Firebug. This is how it looks like. Now, how to make use of this Firebug? Just go to the location in your page. See, I want this text box to be identified, so I brought this text box in front. And on your left hand side corner of your Firebug window, there is a element identifier button with an arrow pointer. Single click on that. Take your mouse pointer all the way back. See, wherever I move on these objects, it is being highlighted in blue color. So as I want this text box details, I am placing my mouse pointer on this. No. There is a slight difference that you have to take care of. When I move my mouse pointer inside, there is a child object that is appearing. See that? If I move it little outside, it takes my parent object. Please observe the difference here. There is a difference between parent and child objects. See that? So now always go with the parent object, don't go with the child. So I'll select the parent object. Something got highlighted inside my Firebug window. It's highlighted in blue color. See? When I place my mouse pointer, the object is also highlighted in blue color on the page. Now, do I have to use an ID here called as ID is equal to GS underscore TTI0? No. Please expand the plus button, which you see on the front of this highlighted area. Never ever go with the TD tags. So this is completely HTML, guys. And these tags will represent your HTML nodes or their values. These are not the actual values of the objects. Please press plus button again. Okay. I'm expanding my HTML content which got highlighted in blue color. Once done, there will be inner child elements which will have the complete description. Okay, so I can use that here. And moreover, all the normal properties that Firebug provides for us. These are like ID, name, expert, CSS, DOM. These are the various ways that IDE provides as identification mechanism for our objects. ID would be the normal ID of an object. Name is name. XPath is called as extensible path, which is the most strongest property for objects. CSS stands for cascading style sheets. DOM stands for document object model. Okay, these are the various ways that we can identify an object with. So we'll come back. See, I have expanded it. Now I'll further expand it for my div tags. There are like two tags, TD, which is also having an ID, and inside which I have a div tag, which is also having an ID, but I'm not going for that also. I will expand further more, within which I will find the original values. Now, why is that I'm doing it? Whenever I have to identify an object, I have to take the class name of these objects. What is this normal input tags? Normal text box take? It will take an input of a text, so that I can perform some writing over there, which will expand my values and allow me to type something. Here this is the nature of my search text box is allowing it us to type something like this, right? So it is taking an input, right? In HTML, that is how it is designed. These text boxes are given as normal tags called input tags. Okay, so I will use those tags right now while identifying my object. So that's how IDE takes or grabs these details and bring it for us. So hang on. Okay, I'm doing it once again. Click on your element identifier. Take it all the way back to your object. Single click on it. And let's expand it. Everyone, are you understanding what I'm saying? Objects and their names, and objects are their property names. Have any questions so far? If you are not understanding or something, are we clear so far, everyone?
Yes, Mahesh, we are good.
Sorry?
Yes, Mahesh, we are clear. Yes.
Okay. So I'm trying to grab the IDs of my objects here. Let's just expand this. It's taking a little while. Now see, for every object, like every object name will have a specific ID. Within Firefox browser, we use a tool called Firebug like this. Likewise, IE has its own add-in tool, and Chrome has its own add-on tool. Every browser has their own add-ons, which will help us in grabbing the properties of objects and help us in test those objects using those properties. Okay. So these will be these three have to be grabbed by us. XPath here, given by your Firebug tool, and CSS and DOM we need to do a small workaround for grabbing those elements. So you can use any one of this. It's not mandatory that you have to use all of these properties. You can use either ID, you can use either name, XPath, CSS, okay, whatever you want. But any one would be sufficing your need. If at all there are duplicate objects like with the same name, if there are like two objects with the same name, you can go for indexing or you can go for something called as XPath. That is also allowed. So always the first option would be ID or name, and after them comes XPath. If XPath is also failing, then we go for DOM and CSS. So that's how it is. These are alternative ways for identifying objects. Okay. Now if you see, I got an input tag here, which is having an ID called GBQF here. See that, everyone? So I expanded these two tags, TD tag and div tag, and I see an input tag which is having an ID. My ID tool, a recording tool, has also grabbed the same name inside it while recording. See this? GBQFQ is the name. See that, everyone? Input ID is equal to GBQFQ. Okay. Everyone, are you with me?
Yes, Mahesh.
So, yeah, very thanks. So this is one of the properties. If you can see, ID is equal to GBQFQ is a property that is available. Along with you'll also have a name property. Onto the far right hand side corner, see my mouse pointer, there is a name property. Name is equal to Q. See this? Right? We can use this property also for my identification mechanism. Okay. So there are two properties already available for my object to be identified. Okay, this is the way how you identify your objects and use their values for identifying them on a web page through a testing tool. Okay, this is one more property. Can you see that name is equal to Q? With my mouse pointer on the right hand side corner of the same line, ID is equal to GBQFQ and name is equal to Q on the same line. Check out my mouse pointer here. Okay. So you can use any one of these properties for your identification mechanism and work on your object. Normally in IDE, we saw GBQFQ as the value. Okay, it's taking a while for me to open up. Okay. See this GBQFQ is the ID that my value, my tool has brought to me, and here it is. I guess here is my GBQFQ. See that? The input tag here. The third line from the location. See my mouse pointer. Okay. So this is how we will get our object details, without which we cannot perform any action. And every while and then starting from now onwards and till the end of the session, we'll be running behind these objects in the same fashion. Grab their properties, use them for separate actions, and perform our actions accordingly. Okay? Am I clear so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, in IDE, actually our testing scenario is after typing in the value called search text inside my Google page and click on the search button, the result should be prompting out, and I want to analyze whether the results are prompted properly or not. When we start working with IDE, commands are divided into 4 types. First one is store commands. Second one would be validation commands. Third one would be synchronization. I'll let you report on because when we come to reporting, we'll come to the report. These are the first 3 types of commands available in IDE. Store commands normally store any value that you want to store during runtime and test those values on your behalf. Validation commands will validate the actual existence of your objects. Are they performing or reacting according to your discretion or according to the functionality or not? That's what validation commands looks after. Synchronization commands obviously checks whether the tool is in sync with the responses from the web page or not. So there are like various commands that we use inside this. Let's explore the first store command here. Okay, I'll come back to IDE, and after the search text is performed and clicked on the search button, here normally, see after we type in your search text like Selenium and click on the search button, as I showed you in the first instance, it will give you a search result. See this? About so many results in 17 seconds. Text that is appearing here. Well, any value that you want to grab from the web page will have a property. So we need to take that property value and save it inside using the store command. Now this is the text I'm talking about. Okay, this is this one which I have highlighted. Now if I want to grab this object or the text that is appearing, immediately I'll go for Firebug, open Firebug, single click on my element identifier, take my mouse pointer all the way back here, single click again, which says ID is equal to result stats. So now I'm going with the div tag here because inside which I don't have any other tags. Can you all see? It is highlighted in blue color saying ID is equal to result stats. Okay, let's come back to IDE. Now in IDE, I can directly manually write it because this is a validation that I'm looking after. Now I have to use a command for that. As this is an intention of storing a text, I need to take a store command. It's called as a store text. Okay, here it is. I have a command called store text. And the target for this is ID is equal to result stats. Just now we came across, right? Hang on, I'll come back here. Here it is, my result stats object, which is highlighted in blue color. Result stats, S is capital. So come back to IDE. Let's say result stats. Okay, now whenever we want to store anything, we need a location to store that. Likewise here also, we need to give a variable name which will help us in storing a specific text. So here I'm just using a variable called X. Or X or Y, any variable can be used here. And then after the value is stored, I want to display that value. In IDE, if you want to display a value, I have a command called echo command, and syntax for an echo command is give a dollar symbol, two flower braces, inside which give your variable called x there. I'll try to think what that is. Echo command syntax is a dollar symbol, two flower braces, inside which comes your variable name. Okay, in this case it is x. We have used x as a variable name, right? That's how it is. Okay, go back right here. This is what I have written, dollar symbol, within flower braces I gave the variable name. Now I'll just hide my Firebug. Come back, click on your play button. If I'm clicking on any play button here, no hassles, you can click on even the test suite or the test case button. It will open it for you. You observe in the code behind, it is opening my Google page, and it has to type in a value called Selenium. Once the page is completely loaded, it will type the value for me. The second command as it is used is type command. While performing this, all these IDs like GBQFQ and GBQFB, whatever IDs that are appearing here will be taken into consideration, and there it is. Now, it says the element ID result stats is not found. See that? Because after typing in the value called Selenium and clicking on search button, results are taking a few seconds time to prompt out. Minimum of 2 or 3 seconds to prompt out. Until then, my tool is not waiting. So that's why it's saying the ID result stats is not found. I cannot store the text. That's what it's saying. Now, what I'll do here is, instead of making it in a faster pace, I drag my slow. Fast and slow drag. Remember this? I'll drag the execution to slow mode, clear the log, and rerun my script again. There you go. It's opening my page. If you observe on the code behind, there it is. Google page is open. And it has to type in a value back again called Selenium. Now this is running in a slow pace. Now this will try to synchronize with the actual instincts that are appearing on a page and grab them back during runtime and check whether it is being displayed or not. That's the intent of the tool. Guys, today I'm going in a very slow pace here because these are like very basics. Okay, there you go. Here it is. It is typing Selenium as a text. Still it is taking some time. Okay, this result stats is not being appeared immediately. It is taking some time. That's why it is failing me there. Okay? Now who is taking care of this? Or how much time is it asking to wait so that my page gets synchronized? There is, if you go to the options menu here, again there is one more options inside which I have the default waiting time. This is my default waiting time. Can you see that, everyone?
Mm-hmm.
It shows as 30 seconds. So at a minimum, my tool waits for 30 seconds for every object to turn up. If that object is not turned up within 30 seconds, it will throw me an error message saying object is not found. That's the limitation for this. Are we clear so far, everyone? I can increase that limitation. I can increase that 30 seconds to more also, no hassles. But at a basic level or at a default level, this is what ID takes into consideration as a waiting time. That is 30 seconds. Am I clear so far, everyone? So first it has went through open command. If you observe the log, here is my log, executing open. And then it waited for a while. After that, type executing, type ID is equal to GPPFQ, value called text, Selenium, value was a text called Selenium. And then it clicked on the search button. Okay. After that, it tried to store the value into a variable. As it is not appearing immediately, it is failed here. So this is a step-by-step log given inside your log tab. Am I clear so far, everyone?
Yes, Mahesh.
Have any questions? Anybody? Geeta, Shweta, Swapna,
I'm good, Mahesh.
Suganya? Okay. No, this is how a normal store command goes. Okay, we'll rerun it again, try to execute it in a slow pace. Now what I'll do here is, I'll increase the wait time, which is not suggested, only for your understanding I'm doing it. I'm making it as 50,000. It will be 50 seconds, okay? Click on OK. And I click on the play button back again. For every object on the page, it will be 50 seconds until the object turns up. Once the object is turned up, it will perform the action and it will go further. The page is still loading up, that's why it's taking some time. There you go. If you observe, there isn't any execution delays. Got it? See, it is just like a fraction of few seconds. It will grab. The page is turning up a little slow. That's what it's showing you. But you observe, there isn't any error message in the open command here. Okay, so it is synchronization is to be taken in this phase. But this should not be increased to 30 or maybe to 50. The default waitage time is 30 only. Let it be 30,000 milliseconds, which is 30 seconds. If you have to wait for something, we have to use commands. Okay. See, I want to store something here. Before I clicked on the search text. Before I store, there is a command that I can use for this purpose. So I just right click on the store text command, which I have already used. Select insert a new command, which will give me some room space for entering a new command in here. Single click on that empty area, come back to your command, and I have a command C, wait for element present. You see that, everyone? Here it is, wait for element present. Which is that? Which element do you want to wait for? Use the same target ID. ID is equal to result stats. Same object which I want to store. This is my result stats ID, and I want to wait for the same element until that present that is visible. I will not go for storing. Okay. This is a synchronization command. I'm clearing the log and running it again. Normally, the default time for waiting for wait commands or a synchronization command is also 30 seconds. So as I have used this command for waiting, so it will be 30 plus 30. Probably it will wait for that many time. That much time. And see, there it is. It is opening my Google page. Type in my search text back. Okay, here are my results. And if you observe, my echo command has brought the text for me. See that? Got it? And it has stored some value inside my X variable. The value is the same value that is appearing here on the web page. So, whenever there is a synchronization issue, you can use wait commands for your testing purpose. This way. And here is my log. Everyone, can you see this? The last line, it says it brought the same text that is appearing on your page. Now, this is a confirmation that my search functionality is appropriately working on my web page. Here and there are some synchronization issues which we can cover up with the synchronization commands. Okay, so never go for changing the default values. Always we go for a command with IDE, which will help us in performing actions smoothly without any hassles. So here I haven't changed anything. I just used the synchronization command for wait for element present command. This one. And then I store the text. Here it is, the value was stored. This is how I will perform my functional testing using IDE, the help of commands. Are you clear so far, everyone? So this is just a starting point, I agree. Taking some time to explain it step by step. We'll go in a little pace to analyze the more functionalities. This is just a single functionality here. Are we all clear so far? Any questions?
I'm good, Mahesh.
Geeta, Daniel?
Clear.
Yes. If it is, I would like to give you a small exercise for today. Well, see, there are more texts on the web page, on the same Google page, like, see web, image, books. There are links here, see that? Web, images, books, videos. If I open my Firebug, I will be able to find out these images. Single click on element identifier, take it back to the values. See this? It's highlighted, completely all are highlighted. I want you to grab these links and store it using a store command. I will send this program to your inboxes. I will send it to your app logic guys so that will forward it to you. You can use the same program. I want you to use the same store text command, but I want you to store these links instead of the other text. See this one, which is highlighted in blue color. Store these link names, web images, books, video, maps, more, all at a time. Or if you want, you can store them independently also, like this. See that independent links can also be grabbed, or you can grab them completely as a group, like this. Are you clear regarding the exercise?
Yes, Mahesh.
Mahesh?
Yes, sir.
I didn't get this exercise. Can you repeat this?
Yeah, sure. What I'm saying here is we have links here, right? Web, images, books, videos, maps on the Google page.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is go to Firebug. Firebug is also add-on. I will show you how to install Firebug. Don't worry. After Firebug is installed, single click on the element identifier button. Take your cursor all the way to those links. See, it got highlighted in blue color. This is highlighted as a group. You can even highlight them independently. Just move it to your independent links. They will be highlighted independently. Okay? As your wish, independently or as a group, anything goes with me. Grab these texts of these links. Just single clicking on them will give me the XPaths or every detail. See, the highlighted area is showing me the details here.
Okay.
I want you to store the text of all these texts using the store command, which I have used like this.
Okay.
Here is my store text, right? I use the ID of my object. Let's see, ID is, I single click on my element identifier. This is what I wanted to store. So I single clicked on it. And it has brought me some ID here. ID is equal to result stars. Likewise, I want you to grab the links which says web images, books, video, maps, everything like this here. And store the link texts into a variable, display them back again. So for your understanding, I will send you this example which we are working on. Just save it on the desktop and send it to you. I'll send it to AppLogic guys and they will forward it back. And use the same exercise for storing your texts back, okay? So, I'll send it later on. Are we all clear regarding the exercise?
Yes.
Go ahead, give it a try. I'm not saying that it is to be mandatorily be completed because as this is the first session. Give it a try. If you are okay with that, that's fine. If you are not, I will tell you on tomorrow. No problem. Okay. Now for Firebug, and there are two add-ons which I was discussing about. One is Firebug, the other one is Firepath. These two should be mandatorily be installed on your Firefox browser. So how do I do that is, I'll go back to my Google page. I'll just type in, okay, there's my Google homepage. Nothing much, just type in saying download Firebug and Firepath. Okay, here it is, I'll just type download. Here it is, download Firebug. We click on the Google search. It's just an add-on. Click on the first link that appears in the search text and there you go. Okay, see this? Firebug add-ons for Firefox. Single click on this first link. Likewise, it's the same for FirePath also. Okay, once the page opens, click on download, it will be downloaded. It's that easy. Okay. Are you all clear so far? Okay. Please try that exercise and we'll catch up on tomorrow same time. Not on same time here. I had a timing schedule to be changed. Please let me know your availability. Can we catch up at 6:30 a.m. IST instead of 4 a.m. IST? Please let me know your availability. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Everyone?
Yes, Mahesh.
Yeah, 6:30 will be okay, Rajesh.
Okay. Thank you. So tomorrow's session will be at 6:30 a.m. IST till 8 a.m. IST.
Okay.
Okay. It depends. If you want it for more, we'll take it on more. No problem. Minimum it will be 1.5 hour session.
Okay.
And tomorrow we'll be using more store commands and more synchronization commands. Along with, we will be working on complete test scenarios, test cases and test scenarios. In terms of automation, how do we change them into our test steps and then execute it through IDE? Also, we'll be working on something called as validation commands. Okay? These two are the tomorrow's session's agenda. Got it?
Hello?
Any more
Hello,
questions? Yes, buddy.
This Selenium, it is supported by Firefox only, or does it support Google Chrome also?
It does support a lot many browsers, not just Firefox. But the component which we are working now called IDE, this one,
Yes.
this component which you are looking at, this IDE is one of the components of Selenium. This works only with Firefox. But for the remaining components like Selenium, RC, WebDriver, Grid, yeah, we can use various browsers also, no hazards. I'll show you how to use different browsers at a time once we go through those components. Okay.
Yeah,
Don't worry, it's not just only Firefox. You can use any browser.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Any more questions? Everyone, are we good to go now? If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here. Or if you have any questions back, so that during run time or working with exercises, you can buzz back on this mail ID. This is applogic. And just check your IM. applogictechnologies1@gmail.com. This is a mail ID. You can send your queries to. I'll be replying back once you drop in a mail there. Okay. Are we clear so far?
Mahesh?
Yes, buddy.
How do I add? Actually, I just add my name. I skip that step to add my email address in this window which asks for.
Okay.
How to edit?
Once you are joined up, your name will be appearing for sure. When you haven't added your name, you will be on the list without any name. It says no name over there. Okay. See, you cannot see my window here. So, what happens here is everyone among us will not be able to see our GoToMeeting control panel. But independently, we can see the list who have joined, everything, right? Once you join, if you don't give your name, it will be mentioned as no name. Just double click on that. It will allow you to type a name again.
I skipped Gmail.
Yeah,
Like
at
my
the
email.
yes,
Want
at
to
the
add?
inception you might have skipped in giving your name and email ID, right? Yeah. Once you skip that, after the join in, it will be mentioned as no name in the attendees list.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got it.
So yeah, in that no name, just double click on that no name. There you go. It will allow you to type in the value. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay then. Any more questions? Today we went on a slower pace, a very basic level. It's just a startup, so that's why I walked you through line by line. Tomorrow also it will be the same pace, but with more additional functionalities. So please try to complete that exercise. If you have any hazard, don't wait till tomorrow morning, my time. I mean to say, drop in a mail to that email ID if you have any hazards, and you will get a mail back with this example which we worked on. After IDE is installed, you have to just go to your file menu, open that file where you have downloaded from the location and from your machine. Done. That's it. You will get your example back from here into IDE. Okay. And you all remember, right, where to open IDE from? So you can go to your tools menu by clicking on tools menu, Selenium IDE. Once IDE is open, click on file menu, open, select the file which I'm sending now. See, it is now on my desktop. See, I clicked on Google search. I click on open. Here it is. Test case is open like this. That's why you need to open your test case in IDE. Okay. I'm just showing you, how to start working on it. Don't have to worry about anything. I'll send you this file. You can work directly on this. Are we all clear regarding the example and the exercise that we have to do? Okay. Okay. Nice. Then let's catch up on tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. IST. And I'm again reminding you, don't wait for till tomorrow. If you have any hazards in between, please drop in a mail so that let's get it cleared today itself, or maybe your time by tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening. Okay, we'll get your reply soon back, and we will not have any hassles on tomorrow session, so that everything will be clear. If at all, if something is really blocking us, we'll take half an hour more, solve that, and then only we'll be going ahead with everyone. Okay, everybody in sync. I want everybody to be in sync with this. Okay. Okay then. So let's catch up on tomorrow. Everybody, you got that mail ID, right? Okay. Okay then. Okay. Thanks for your time, everyone. Let's catch up on tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. IST. Okay then. Bye. Bye, everyone.